I think it's time that I finally sit down and review Black Desert Online. It's been a whole year since BDO released for both North America and Europe, but I still see a lot of new players all the time, and a lot of people ask me if I can recommend this game. It took me so long to decide whether or not I wanted to do this review because it's hard for me to decide whether or not I think it's worth it. It also kind of scared me because there's so much to do in this game, I don't even know where to start. It's why I never reviewed GTA 5 even though I made a ton of videos on it. There isn't that many videos on my channel for Black Desert, but I've been playing since Head Start. I've seen a lot of big names come and go. I've been in plenty node wars, I've been in guilds that were hated, I've been part of multi-guild drama, I have 4 characters above level 55, I've spent a grand USD on the cash shop for this game, and my playtime is a bit over 150 days. Is this considered hardcore for this game? No, not at all. Right now, I don't even consider myself competitive for PvP anymore. I took a break for about 3 months I think, and in that time I've fallen from my gear is decent to I barely meet the requirements to join some of these guilds. As a YouTuber, freelance web developer, someone who works full time, someone who likes to play a ton of different games, and someone who likes to go out every weekend, this game is hard to keep up with, there's a lot to do, and just like life, if you don't concentrate on a few specific aspects of this game, you won't be good at anything. There are a few people who do everything, but it takes a lot of time, planning, and micromanagement. And for anyone sane, you start to think whether or not it's worth it. I mean, you could be using that time and thought to make money in the real world. So like any of my other reviews, I'm going to talk about the kind of experience you can expect while playing this game, just enough so that you know whether or not this game is for you, but not so far into detail that you don't know what I'm talking about. A lot of people play this game for different reasons, but I think the majority of people who play this game play it for the combat, PvP, and node wars. The combat is action-based and the best I've seen in any MMO. It's very visceral, flashy, and fast-paced. I've played all the classes to some extent, and all of them are really fun to play, so whether you like melee or range type classes, you'll most likely find combat enjoyable in this game. I've never spoken to anyone in BDO who prefers the combat in another game over this one. Node wars are when multiple guilds place a fort somewhere and fight each other for a piece of the map, resulting in the winner getting tax payouts for their guild, which is then used to pay their members and or for use in other node wars for more fort fortifications, guard towers, cannons, and items. There are a ton of nodes every night being fought for, and every week the strongest guilds fight for whole territories. As you can imagine, people get salty, a lot of drama happens, to the point where guilds permanently declare war on one another, and take every opportunity to ruin each other's lives. It could be during grinding, guild quests, farming, fishing, world bosses, and depending on the kind of person you are, you can find this fun, super annoying, or frustrating. The PvP is not balanced for 1v1. Gear is the most important deciding factor in PvP, followed by level, then class, then skill. Just know that if you're interested in doing well in PvP at all, expect to do a lot of grinding. This is an Asian MMO, so expect to spend at least 100 hours grinding on your first character before realizing how much more you need to grind before you reach the bare minimum of being competitive in PvP. Every day that goes by, the people at the top get stronger and stronger because there is no level cap and gear takes a lot of time and money to acquire and enchant. Is that to say that if you start now, you can't ever be competitive? No, not necessarily. I've seen a few people who start the game, never played it before, go from nothing to 57 and decently geared in less than a month. You need to do a lot of research, play it smart, and focus. Now, the other side of this game is life skills. You can do quite a bit of it AFK, and for income, it's insane. You can gather your own materials and process them for crafting or selling. You can cook or do alchemy to give yourself buffs, feed your workers, feed your pets, or to sell. You can tame horses in the wild, train them, breed them, sell them. You can fish AFK, or you can go out into the ocean on a boat to find rarer and more valuable fish. You can hunt whales. You can do trade runs from one side of the map to the other side, and the continent is huge and there's no fast travel, but there is an auto run so you can kind of do this AFK. Depending on how far you go, it can take hours to get there. You can also farm, tending your crops, removing weeds, pests, and water them. Other things non-combat oriented include owning your own house or multiple houses that you can decorate and furnish however you want, and owning a crafting empire of workers and workshops where you can have your workers gather or craft for you, and you only have to pay them in beer. My advice for anyone trying to get into this game, don't feel like all you have to do is grind. Or if you like grinding, don't feel like you have to do life skills. Do what you want. Because there is so much to do, you should concentrate on the activities you enjoy most. I know people who don't touch their life skills and just grind in PvP all day. I also have a real life friend who only leveled to level 8 and from there fished from level 8 to level 56 while he did other things in other games. I also have a former guildie who, after leveling to 56, all they did was gather, made hundreds of millions of silver a day, and became one of the most geared people on the server. Now onto the huge negative that everyone complains about this game for, and that is the pay to win. There is a cash shop, there are items that give you advantages, and not everything is just cosmetic. Now, is this truly pay to win? No. The advantages you gain only get you to a certain point. You still have to put in the time. I spent $1,000 on this game and I'm not even close to the top players anymore, some of which I'm sure have spent nothing on this game. I had a friend from our gauge who spent 7,000 USD on that game, and he was waiting to see if this game would be pay to win, because he owns his own business and doesn't have time to play. As that quote unquote pay to win stuff got implemented, he decided to quit, because it really isn't pay to win. After buying 4 pets, a costume, and a value pack, the rest of the stuff gives you minimal advantages. You can even buy some of the cash shop stuff from other players on the marketplace, and the silver those players get from selling it can easily be made in 30 minutes. This game is fun, this game is beautiful, there's a lot to do, to the point where there's too much to do for any one person to do all of it. If you want to seriously get into this game, it will take a lot of time, and if you want to compete, it will take even more time and maybe some money. The different systems of enchanting, life skills, amity, knowledge, crafting, workers, combos, skills, cancels, world bosses, node wars, buffs, imperial trade, etc. is overwhelming. But you know, for the past few years, so many people have been complaining about how too many games hold your hand and how the MMO experience is streamlined. This is a game that doesn't fall into that trend. You will get lost, you will get confused, and if you hate that shallow theme park MMO feel, or if anything I've said sounds interesting to you, go ahead and go to the website in the description below where you can try the game for 7 days. My name is Phunkyzz, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.